Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide, and in today's video we are of course addressing and visiting and checking out the latest news announcement from Boox, which is about their Go line of devices. So let's head on over to the desktop and check it out. Okay, so here are the Boox Go series first members. We have the 7C, which is just a dedicated color reader with Kaleido 3. And then we have the Go 10.3. So I'm going to just go through the stuff that they have here. And yeah, basically just check their own website and announcements, and as usual, as we go along, I'm going to share my opinion and my insights that I get from the material that has been provided. And before we begin, I can actually tell you that I have confirmation from Boox that I shall receive both of the review devices for my deep guide, so you will be able to see both the Color 7 and the Go 10.3 on my deep guide, and the Go Color 7, if I'm not mistaken, I believe is already on the way. So that's kind of cool, and the Go 10.3 is delayed. I haven't yet received any clarification on what the delay status is or when we could actually expect that, but that's what I know so far. So let's begin with the Go Color 7. Go Color 7, the flexible 7-inch Color e-paper reader. And as soon as we actually go down to the first image, it becomes very clear that this is another evolution or iteration or upgrade of their original Leaf designs. Originally we had Leaf 1, then we had Leaf 2, then we had Page, and now we have it as a Go Color 7. Why they are renaming the whole thing, I'm not really sure, but from the images alone, this looks exactly the same type of housing like we've seen on Leaf 1, Leaf 2, Page, and now on the Go Color 7. There's nothing bad about it except one thing, which is that the next and previous Page buttons don't have the spacing between them. I really love the format of these types of readers, especially in landscape format, and as we've seen on the B751C Bomber, that one had a nice kind of split between the Page next and previous buttons, so it would have been nice to actually see that on the Go Color 7, but we don't. Pleasurable reading with Kaleido 3. Alright, so we got the Kaleido 3 here, which means 300 ppi black and white, 150 ppi color content, and probably good calibration of colors, because so far we've seen Boox do a good job at actually calibrating and using the Kaleido 3 panels in their devices. Yes, we have the G sensor, which is really good. Then we have more ways to enjoy your reading, I guess, with the buttons. The buttons do seem, it would be really cool if they were actually metal, like aluminum buttons, like we've seen on the Bigme B751C, because those buttons really do feel good, and I like on a device like this when you have a pleasant or pleasurable tactile feeling when pressing those buttons. We got stereo speakers, we got the micro SD card slot, we got the USB-C, and a power button with an LED. 195 grams and water repellent design, prevent from unwanted splashes. And you see the little number 2 here, and that means that if we scroll all the way down and we read the number 2, it says that the water repellent design protects against daily water exposure, including accidental spills, splashes, or light rain. It is not intended to be submerged in water or exposed to high pressure water or other liquids. The water repellent effect may decrease over time. Okay. Please note that it is not waterproof. Okay, so yeah, it's not a waterproof device, so treat it as such. What I do like is that the back actually looks like a paper-like type of surface, which would be pleasant, almost like having a book in your hand or something like that. With ample storage capacity, I think it's 64 gigabytes of storage, expandable with up to 1 or 2 terabytes via SD card slot. So like all the storage you might ever need. Okay, designed for chic simplicity. All right? What does that say? The illustration of the new user interface is clean yet chic. It evaluates the overall style and enhances your user experience, providing both pleasure and ease of use. Okay, so they have a newly redesigned user interface. Whether or not, yeah, it seems like it is redesigned for the 7-inch format, sort of like what they have with the 6-inch format with the Poke devices, because that one also had a slightly redesigned user interface to accommodate the small size. So it's kind of good to see that they're making an effort to actually customize things so that it fits the overall size. It feels truly natural and relaxing, more than just reading. It's about living in the present moment and breathing a sense of a natural relaxation, as opposed to unnatural relaxation. Weird. Let's speak words. Paper-like tactile back. Yay, cool. So we get to have the paper-like kind of feel back. Textured back delivers a sensation of paper-like feeling and a secure grip. Cool. It adds a touch of sophistication and security to your hold, perfectly blending practicality and elegance every time you use it. This may seem like a small thing, but for me personally, in devices like this, that actually does matter. That kind of tactile feel, it does matter. So that's kind of cool to see. I hope that it actually feels good, and I hope that it's a type of material that stays good and doesn't kind of, wear out over time. Nature-inspired texture, breathable design, crafted with biodegradable materials, nice. Maintains a unique texture that is anti-fingerprint, okay. Its aesthetic appeal enhances breathability, allowing you to be more mindful and savor every... What? I think they've lost it here. Its aesthetic appeal enhances breathability, allowing you to be more mindful and savor every present moment. Wow, that's a big load of marketing speak right there. All right, premium magnetic cover is crafted with fine PU material. It exudes elegance and sophistication while providing enhanced protection for your device. Looks like the good type of same type of cover that we have. Yeah, pretty much the same that we've seen on the page, and there was nothing wrong with that cover. It was actually really, really nice, and it really felt good, high class and elegant. So it's a good thing to actually see it here. Grab right, go light. Choose the suitable ink device. All right, cool. So now we have the comparison finally to the page, because you can look at the page as the monochromatic version and this is the color version. So Go Color 7, obviously Kaleido 3 color screen. We have 300 ppi, black and white, 150 color, 2.4 gigahertz octa-core CPU. So pretty much just a bump up in the SoC that's being used, which of course means that the licensing is upgraded to Android 12 as opposed to Android 11 on the page, which is good to see. Adjustable front light, micro SD card slot, auto rotation, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes, which is an upgrade yet again over page, which is a good thing to see. Same battery, 2300 milliamps. No stylus support, obviously, because it's just a reader. Supports Boox magnetic case, cool. Built-in Google Play Store, yes. 6.4 millimeters versus 6 millimeters, so slightly tiny bit thicker than the page. I wonder if that has to do with that different material and surface that they're using on the back. I don't know, because it's just 0.4 millimeters, who knows. And approximately the same weight at 195 grams. Price is $220 for the page and $250 for Go Color 7. It doesn't actually say if there's a difference between the white and the black version, although they do show off the white version a lot and it looks the same. So let's see, if you go to order now, what do you get? You get a dead link. Wow, that's cool. All right, so if we go all the way up and you go buy now, yeah, okay, let me just wait. These appear to be dead links. Oh, these don't have a link at all in them. Yeah, these are like full-on dead links. on their official website, at least where I'm at here, and I am now using shop.boox.com. Maybe that's something that they might want to look into, because yeah, that's kind of like where people go to buy your stuff. You might want to have that button working. There is one other thing that I just wanted to mention, and that is in their webpage, where they are showing the announcement of both Go devices, and they're talking about the e-ink Kaleido color screen. They have a little number 1 and 2 there. And in the small print, it says the Kaleido 3 screen is e-ink's most recent e-paper color screen. It offers a relatively high refresh rate, relaxing hues, and is ready for mass production with consistent quality. And with e-ink Comfort Gaze on the Kaleido 3, a new front light technology, the Go Color 7 with adjustable front light can offer a comfortable viewing experience, a day and night, blah, 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 blah. Now, what it says here is a little bit important to kind of know, which is the new screen and its front light technology may generate a tiny side shadow, which may be eliminated by adjusting the screen brightness and color temperature. So that's something that we have seen on some of the devices, and granted, they are fairly open about this, but it was possible to adjust the front light, as they say here, so it actually compensates. But yeah, it's something to definitely kind of keep in mind. So always a good idea to read the small prints and the little indexes there. All right, so that was the Go Color 7, and now on to the Go 10.3. And I think this is going to be a controversial device, and I'll give you my impressions, but it's obviously, even from the image, like, why? Because it's Remarkable 2. There's no way around it. This is not just inspired by a Remarkable 2. In my opinion, they haven't made enough differences to make this show like an effort, that they recognize that this is a design where you kind of have to go through, but that they made a conscious effort to make it somewhat different than the Remarkable 2. So yeah, I think that this is so remarkably similar to the Remarkable 2 that it actually may pose a problem in some point. So we'll see how that actually plays out. I would be surprised personally that it just kind of goes without any issues, because the similarities are way too much for it to be just ignored. So that immediate impression, that's the immediate first impression, and I just want to get that out of the way and use that, just kind of keep that on top of everything that we're going to be talking about here. But yeah, that's the most important first impression, which is like, let's see how that goes. Paper, lightweight, and super clear e-paper display, ultra thin, made for creative minds. They're even tapping into the whole kind of marketing mindset of the Remarkable 2. So this is like almost like a direct attack at this point. So enjoy your adventures. Wherever you're heading, you're good to go with the new Go 10.3, hence the whole Go name of the line of devices. They're built for portability. Wouldn't portability also mean ruggedness, endurability, and in quite a few cases, doesn't have to be submergible, but at least water resistant to some degree, not just repellent. So at least in my view, that's how I would, that's what I associate with devices on the go, something that I can feel comfortable to chuck in a bag and take it out and, kind of go and see. So granted, Boox devices are more rugged than the Remarkable 2, but we've seen that Remarkable 2 had issues with durability directly because of that ultra thin design, and this is 1 millimeter thinner than Remarkable 2, and it looks like it's using metal and glass. Nah. So we'll see. So 4.6 millimeters, 4.6 millimeters less space, more possibilities. Let me think about that one for a second. Less space, more possibilities. When would that apply? I mean, if you have less space storage-wise, you don't have more possibilities. If you have less space screen-wise, you don't have more possibilities. If you have less space in a car, you don't have more possibilities. If you have less space in an apartment or a house, you don't have more possibilities. 375 grams make your trip effortless. Okay, cool. 375 grams is actually very, very light, and that combined with the thinness might feel really cool. I gotta admit, ripping off Remarkable 2 or not, but the back does look really sexy on this device. It does. It really, really does. I love this these details of the back material. I hope that it's a similar type of paper-like material on the back, and this kind of indentation here with the Boox Go series metal thing. It looks very, very sexy. So yeah, it says the notebook strap pattern on the back perfectly merges with the charm of paper notes, giving you the feel of using a real notepad but with more flexibility and digital power. Cool. That actually might be a very, very cool thing, and it might be not as slippery as the Note Air series of the devices. So that's kind of a nice thing to see. Ta-da! Including everything, even the wider bottom on the side there, because of course they have to cram the electronics somewhere. But oh man, I mean, Huawei made pad paper, at least made the effort and made the bezel actually equally round on all sides, and that made it different enough from the Remarkable 2, so that it's like Remarkable 2 inspired design and not a super not a carbon copy. This just looks honestly like a carbon copy. From the front, looks like a carbon copy of the Remarkable 2 design. There's no way to actually characterize it any other way. It's beautiful, but Remarkable 2 did it first, and I'm not a fan of people just taking someone else's design and just using it. It needs to show a conscious effort that yes, we're inspired by this, but we're trying to give our take on it. And I see that on the back, right? Definitely, so that's fine. But on the front, it's just too similar for my taste, personally. So the dominant grayish white creates a clean look with no buttons on the front panel and all ports neatly aligned around the bezel. It's simple, just the way life should be, right? Soak up the sun and the stories, 300 ppi. That is a big one, because now we can actually see that Amazon no longer has the monopoly and the rights to exclusively use the 10.3 or 10-ish inch 300 ppi screen. So we have a 300 ppi screen on a 10.3 inch device. No front light, which means obviously no front light, but thinner, lighter, and more importantly, much more importantly, smaller distance between the surface and the screen, and that should create a better writing sensation, connectivity sensation, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's something that I'm actually quite excited to see. They also say for the first time, no, it's not for the first time, Max 3 didn't have a front light, so new. Eye-friendly Carta 1200, yes, so it is black and white. And what we have here is images. Planning a trip of some sort, I guess reading some references, the encounters of wilderness and all that kind of stuff, and then contemplating life by the wall. Adapt to your reading style. Let the device follow your move no matter how you hold the go. Cool. Auto rotation, that's good to see. Jot it down even on the go. Plan your journey with templates. Okay. Imagine creativity with various art tools. Okay, so notebook tools are there. Yes, all standard stuff. Okay, cool. The perfect travel companions. Take notes and read anywhere on the go with a new go-to 10.3 case. Strong magnets allow the case to be attached to the device and secure it outside use. Secure it for the outside use. No, no. The magnets, as strong as they are, I mean, they can't beat mechanical holding. They just can't. They're sexy, they're nice, I like them, but no. I wouldn't feel secure with that kind of stuff. And the flap can be, wait, what? Flat can be detached for a lighter grip. Okay, maybe they're just kind of making sure to get the flap out of the way for people who don't like using the flap, or maybe if there's magnetic interference or something like that. So maybe that's it, but that's just an invitation to lose the flap. The cover does look nice, but I am missing the most awesome part of the Note Air 3 and 3C, which is that you can have, that it has that double kind of feature, that it can be used in the portrait mode as well as a stand, which is something that I use my Note Air 3C in constantly. So I just wish that the magnetic configuration is similar enough that we can actually use the Note Air 3 cover on this, maybe, because that is most definitely missing from what I can see here, and I wish it had it. That's something that you really want on the go. But yeah, apparently no. Elegance reimagined from inside out. I hope they're not referring to the design of the device, because that would be embarrassing, because there's no reimagination there. The user interface, it's the user interface thing, has been fully updated to go with the new device. Minimal, streamlined, and refreshing. It helps you focus on the here and now. All right, so let's see the images. Ooh. This is bold from them. Because if you see here, this is directly inspired. Again, we continued the leitmotif of inspiration from the Remarkable platform. Granted, it's not just the Remarkable that has that, but it is, when you add the design and when you see the device that looks like this, and then you see the user interface that looks like this, it is like almost a 1 + 1 = 2. And I do know that Lenovo, with their Smart Paper, you remember there was a delay with the Lenovo Smart Paper? Well, the delay was because their initial demo device actually used an interface that used strikingly similar layout, even the icons and everything, to the Remarkable 2. And when the Smart Paper actually came out, it had a completely redesigned set of icons and a refreshed type of user interface, so that it was legally different enough from the Remarkable user interface, because Remarkable did actually voice their concern and objection to what Lenovo was doing. Rightfully so, they should. This is a very, very knife edge similar type of case, but I already can see from here that even though the layout is the same, the settings down there and everything, it's the icon sets are different enough. I think that there's enough differences here that Remarkable can't really do much about it. So I think that they just went ahead with the Remarkable inspired and adapted their user interface, the Boox user interface, to a Remarkable style user interface, so that it fits this device, and it's kind of similar thing to what Remarkable 2 users have. And this is a very aggressive move. I personally don't like this type of behavior for obvious reasons, but business-wise, it is a smart move to do, even though morality of it is wrong. The smartness, why do I believe it's a smart move? Because Remarkable 2 is an aging platform, yet you offer something that's more powerful than Remarkable 2, yet looks like it, and it has a similar-ish kind of environment with the user interface and things like that. Yeah, that's catering to existing customer base and trying to win them over. At least that's my own personal impression, how I'm interpreting this, what I see here. This is a matter for a different discussion. I think there's way too much actually stuff to discuss here. So I'm gonna focus just on these things, but I'm not gonna simply overlook the facts that I see here, which is that the device is heavily inspired by the Remarkable 2. The user interface has been optimized to, again, heavily look like the Remarkable 2 interface as an end result. If the Remarkable 2 didn't exist, this would be excellent on its own and really, really cool. And even with the Remarkable 2, it's excellent, but with the Remarkable 2 existing, it does have that additional, for me, bad taste associated with this, which is a shame because on its own, I think that this is a very promising looking device, something that I'm really excited to try and see. But even before actually trying it out, it does give me a slightly bitter note because of that, Remarkable 2 alikeness. So let's continue and see what do they say more. To free mind and flexible life. Here, grab, write, go, light. All right, so now we have the comparisons here. So this is what I'm interested in. Go 10.3 versus Note Air 3C. We have a monochromatic screen, 300 ppi black and white on the Go 10.3. Very, very cool to see. 2.4 gigahertz octa-core CPU, no BSR, no front light, no micro SD card slots. Some people are probably going to go like, that they can't put all of the, I don't know, collections of everything that was ever written on a single device. But I think 64 gigabytes is plenty, combined with access to OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, and all that kind of stuff. So it may not be the end of the world. But with the 4.6 millimeters, I don't see how can you actually put a micro SD card slot in there. Fingerprint lock, no. I wish I could actually see the... I don't care about the fingerprint lock, but I do care about the concave button, which Note Air 3 has, and that's something that I do prefer and like. So we don't have that. Instead, we have a power button that sticks out. Authorization, very cool to see. 4 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes. So this is the same. This is the same exact SoC and same motherboard, basically. Used on the Note Air 3C, and that would mean Android 12 on both of them. Same battery, 3700 milliamp, but it does not have BSR and it does not have a front light, so I think that we can expect a dramatically better battery life on the Go 10.3 versus the Note Air 3C. Built-in Google Play Store, 4.6 millimeters versus 5.8 millimeters. That is quite something. And then 375 grams versus 430 grams, and that is a difference that you will feel. And here comes the kicker, $380. That is a really, really good price. I don't know if this includes the magnetic cover or not. Let's see if does the link work. Yeah, I don't know. No, these links work. So it's just... yeah, okay. So here the links for ordering, there we go, this works. So the bottom one didn't work. So $380 for, yeah, the device, tips, and a magnetic case. So if I'm Boox Euro Shop, yeah, 420 euros. So $380 or 420 euros, depending on which shop you're using and where you're actually buying from, for this whole package. That is a really, really aggressive pricing, and this is an extremely tempting device to check for those people who are looking for something like this. I like the sound of this and I like the look of this a lot, with that big asterisk regarding Remarkable 2 alikeness. So I won't refer to that anymore because I want to focus on the device itself. I'm excited about this one. I'm really, really excited about actually trying this and checking it out and seeing how it works, because it could be a really, really good thing if it feels and if it writes. Yeah, it basically just comes down to the writing feel, how it actually performs, because we know everything else about the Boox platform. And of course that redesigned UI, that could play a big part in here, because that's also a weak point of Boox devices. So there we go. We got Boox Go series 10.3 and the Color 7. Interesting. Well, okay, so those are the Go devices. I'm interested. Objectively, I'm interested in both of them. For the Go Color 7, I'm interested how they are going to make the white bezel work with the darkness of the Kaleido 3 screen, and how the color interpretation is going to be like, and overall just how it's going to perform, because I really like the Page. I thought that the Page was a really good device. As for the Go 10.3, there's a lot to be excited about this device, and tons of people are saying, hey, they made Remarkable 3 before the Remarkable, which they did, apparently blatantly so, but I think Supernote is also gonna feel a hit here, simply because of the delay with the A5X2 and the decision to stop the production and selling of the A5X. Personally, I think that that was a miscalculation and a mistake on the Supernote side. I get it that they had the A6X2 as a new product that's going to be selling, but I think it was simply a miscalculation that was turned into a mistake. And right now, with the delay and the uncertainty of the A5X2, when it's going to come out, how much it's going to cost, what's it going to look like? Because if it does have that bucket, I mean, we don't even know what's it going to look like, and that's on the one end of the scale, right? So that's the Supernote story for the users who have already been waiting for the A5X2 for a while, right? Then on the other end of the scale, you have people who have not waiting, but hoping for a Remarkable 3, but the Remarkable is not really announcing anything at all. Like, there's not even a smidge of things. And I get it, that's their kind of approach to do things, and then when they go with a bang, and it's like a big deal. But that can backfire. And in this case, when somebody comes along, like Boox did with the Go 10.3, and does what they did, which I didn't expect to, for them to just go like, okay, copy paste, here you go. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna, you have to consider that it has to have an effect on the customers who are waiting for the Remarkable 3 and who are waiting for the Supernote A5X2. So that's why I think that the Go 10.3 from Boox is an important device that's could do some damage to both of the competitors here. We know everything about it. We know how much it costs, we know how it looks, we know what it brings to the table, we know how heavy it is, we know how thin it is, we know all of these things. Remarkable 3 doesn't even exist, so we know nothing about it. Supernote A5X2, we know the specifications of it, we know that it's going to be a repairable design, and we know that that it has a half flip cover. Those are the things that we know. So in all of that story, when somebody's considering of purchasing a new device, what do you think that they're going to choose? So that's my own personal opinion and impression of the Boox Go 10.3. Please take into consideration everything that I've also said before regarding my also sense of distaste for that type of copy pasting of somebody else's work. So that's an important consideration as well. So I'm directly interested in your guys' opinion and impression of Boox 10. All of these devices and all of the things that were actually mentioned in this video. It will help a lot to actually see where you guys are coming from and what your understanding is and what your sense of morality is about these kinds of things. Does that impact your purchasing decision or not? And do you consider purchasing a Go Color 7 or Go 10.3 from Boox? I hope that you found the video interesting and or informative. If you did, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell in the description below to get notified when new videos come out on mydeepguide. And also check out the mydeepguide.com/shop, where you can find the MDO and the MMP, both of which are hyperlinked PDF documents. MDO is My Daily Organizer, which helps you organize all of your personal or business yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily planning needs. And MMP is My Deep Guide Meeting Planner that helps you centralize, simplify, and organize all of your meeting planning needs. You can find more information about both of these products in the linked playlist in the description below, where you can find out if this is a product for you or not. But either way, purchasing of these products helps directly support the independence of My Deep Guide. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!